It's about 7:35 and I'm just leaving the dorm. Pretty mild down here this morning. I have my jacket off soon. There's the canteen. Just had breakfast a little while ago. It's 7 o'clock. Coming up to the ranger station. Up there, I don't know if it can be seen, the south rim. About 10 miles away from here by trail. Just coming to the campground, crossing Bright Angel Creek. This is the upper end, or the northern end of the campground. There's some tents over there this morning, a few. Still using buckets to flush here. Fortunately, we didn't have to do that. Coming up on campsite 29 over here. Our old spot, and somebody's in it. Back over there. Don't want to be too obvious. Just left the campground. Morning. The guy was taking pictures last night after dark. Some beautiful shots down here. the Silver Bridge. Pretty good whirlpool going on over there. And there's the Black Bridge upstream. There's another look at the Silver Bridge and the Black Bridge. I don't remember if this is the last opportunity, but that's a good shot there. Still headed up the trail. This trail relatively flat until I get to Pipe Canyon, Pipe Creek. A few ups and downs here, but nothing very big until that point. There's some sandy parts along here. Takes a little more effort to walk in that. Well, I've only been gone 45 minutes and I've taken my jacket off already. Temperatures, I don't know, it's probably getting close to 50 by now. But it's easy to get heated up when hiking. Still hiking along the river. Not too far from Pipe Canyon at this point. A little higher above the river now. I can see the outlet of Pipe Creek down there. A nice view of the rapids from here. Descending now along the river. Yeah, this is Pipe Creek down here. This is the rest house. Be leaving the river at this point. The rest house, I think they call it. It's actually restrooms. There's no water here. The next water is at Indian Garden. So headed up Pipe Canyon now. And there's Pipe Creek. I have to cross that a few times, 3 or 4. Nice through here. It's a little cooler here than it was down by the river. It's a summer day, that's very good. Not bad in January either. Alright, this is my first crossing. It looks very easy. The water's not very high, so looks like they all might be fairly easy today. Keep my feet dry. No problem. My second crossing is coming up. Looks all right. Got waterproof boots on, so a little bit of water's all right. As I don't go in too deep. Well, my third crossing, and this one's very tame. Starting to ascend a little more now. About 2 3/4 miles up the trail from my starting point. Means I got roughly 1 3/4 miles to Indian Garden. Pretty soon I'll be coming to the Devil's Corkscrew, which will gain a lot of elevation in a short time. I wish I remembered more of my geology. This is pretty spectacular through here. Coming up to the 4th crossing of Pipe Creek. Not a lot of water flowing, so they've been pretty easy today. Very easy. It's a pretty typical section of this trail, although there are smoother and flatter parts. But there's a lot of these. I'm coming up on the start of the Devil's Corkscrew. It does resemble a corkscrew on the map. The Devil's part, I think, comes from the heat in the summer. It gets very hot down here. They say you better be out of this area by 10 o'clock at the latest. I've been hiking an hour and a half, so I'm going to take just a few minute break. I guess technically there's a fifth crossing of Pipe Creek here, although it's not much of a creek at this point. I suppose after a rain, it could be a lot of rocks down through there, so it's probably a raging torrent at times. Just started up the Devil's Corkscrew. There I'm looking back down on the Devil's Corkscrew. There might be one other better vantage point above, I can't remember. Some more hikers coming up the trail way down there. I've come almost 3.5 miles now. Ascended 874 feet. So there's still a whole lot to go. Not too far from the top of this, although maybe another quarter mile or so. The switchbacks are more gradual now, getting closer to the top. Still climbing up the Devil's Corkscrew. Close to the top, I think. A couple more hikers coming up over there. What did I say about gradual switchbacks? They were for a ways. This may be the best, maybe the last look at the Devil's Corkscrew. There might be another one a little bit further up. A lot easier going right now. Much easier terrain at this point. I follow this stream right up to Indian Garden. I forget the name of the stream. The South Rim up there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Yeah. A little bit overcast now. Terrain's changing markedly now. This area can be seen from the South Rim very plainly. Well, another stream crossing. I thought I remembered another one further up. This would be number 6. This could get challenging after a rain, I believe. another one still. Number 7. Never counted them before. I might have, but if I did, I forgot. But now I'll have a record. So that's 7. Another geologically interesting area, I think, sedimentary rock. And it's about time to take a real break here. Take my pack off. Looks like some natural benches here. Good spot. I only stopped maybe 5 minutes. 10 at the most, I guess. Hiking on this flat rock. I think it's sedimentary rock. Almost like it's paved in places. I'm less than a mile from Indian Garden, maybe 3/4, I'd guess. I just intercepted the Tonto Trail. Tonto East in that direction. There's a trail I just came up. Obviously on the Tonto level now. Approaching Indian Garden. Yeah, I'm right there. Not quite into it yet, but on the edge. There's a pumping station here. Pumps water up to the south rim. Not exactly bustling here today. South rim 4.5. About 44 degrees. 5 miles to Phantom Ranch, so I'm a little over halfway. All right. Just leaving Indian Garden. Next stop will be 3 Mile rest stop. That's about 1.5 miles. Then there's 1.5 miles rest stop. And then there's the trailhead. So I've got 4.5 miles to go. About 3 hours into the hike. Ahead of schedule. Getting pretty close to those canyon walls. See a lot of switchbacks here pretty soon. Still on the Tonto at this point, although gradually increasing elevation. Working hard. I'm not far from 3 Mile West rest stop, I'd say, maybe a quarter mile. Getting into the switchbacks. Right up against the rim of the canyon, the wall of the canyon. Lots of switchbacks in this area. Closer to the rim. But, let's see. Climbed 2460. So, still got a couple thousand feet to go. But, let's see, how many miles? 6.86. Almost a 3 mile rest stop. Getting chilly up here, huh? 3 miles. Just about right. I got 6.95 logged to this point. Almost 7. This is where the little squirrel was chasing Kathy's food. Nuts or raisins or something, I forget what. No wooden seats in here, so that's going to be cold. Oh, there are wooden seats in there. Take a little rest. My reflection in there. There's the first snow I've come to. About a half mile above 3 mile rest stop. Probably at about, I don't know, 5,000 feet here. Maybe not quite. Generally speaking, the trail gets wider and better the higher we go. Hi.
One of these years I'll get a 10-person cabin and just take a bunch of newbies down.
Hey.
Yeah. We'll
Howdy.
show them how it's done. Good morning.
Tony.
Or good afternoon.
Yeah, I guess it is probably. But as I was saying, lots of these logs, step overs and step downs. This is a good example of the trail in this area. All the logs. They arrange them this way here with that low spot for drainage. A lot of them give you big step ups and step downs. I'm a little bit low on battery power. I don't want to run out before I get to the ice and to the top, so I'm not going to be showing much more until then. Well, I have come to the ice. Just put on my micro spikes. Battery's getting pretty low, so I'm not going to do too much of this. I'd like to save a little bit for the end. I've got about a little over 2 miles to go. A mile and a half rest stop ahead. Actually just past the restroom. It's on the other side of the trail. I'm going to cut this short because battery is low, as I said. I hope my battery holds out for a little while longer. Get a little bit of this trail. Here's the first tunnel, and there's one more after this one, which is closer to the end. About half a mile to go from this point, I would say, roughly, maybe a little bit less. Rim's looking closer. Well, here's the second tunnel, so really close now. You can see people walking around up there. Trailhead just ahead. I'm going to let it run. Until I get there or until the battery runs out, whichever comes first. Up among the tourists now.